During the Cold War, when countries hid their secrets in the shadows, one flight vanished without a trace, leaving only questions and strange theories. This is the story of Flying Tiger Flight 739, a civilian plane on a secret military mission. The details of the mission were so secret that even the soldiers didn't know the full story. When the plane disappeared, it shocked the world. What happened to Flight 739? Was it an accident, sabotage, or something more mysterious? Today, we dig into the mystery behind this lost flight. In the early 1960s, during the height of the Cold War, the U.S. was secretly aiding South Vietnam against the communist forces from the north. Although the U.S. government publicly denied direct involvement, behind the scenes, covert operations were underway. To keep these operations under wraps, the U.S. military used civilian planes for transportation, one of those being Flying Tiger Line. This civilian airline was perfect for such secret missions, as it wouldn't draw attention like military aircraft would. Flying Tiger Flight 739 carried 93 hand-picked soldiers, specially trained for jungle warfare. They were on a top-secret mission, heading to South Vietnam, though even they didn't know the full details. The plane they boarded was a Lockheed Super Constellation, a trusted aircraft used in Cold War operations for its long range and reliability. As the soldiers boarded, they had no idea that their flight would soon become one of the most mysterious disappearances in aviation history. Flying Tiger Flight 739 was set for a long journey, with several planned stops along the way to refuel and continue its secret mission. The route was mapped out carefully. First, the plane would leave California, heading toward Hawaii for a refueling stop. After that, it would fly to Wake Island, then Guam, before finally reaching its destination in Manila, Philippines. But what happened next still haunts those who have studied the mystery. At 12:05 a.m., the unthinkable occurred. The aircraft's signal vanished. No warning, no sign of trouble, just complete radio silence. The men and women on the ground watching the radar screens in Guam were suddenly faced with an unsettling reality. The plane had disappeared. What happened in that 10-minute window? The last communication from the plane had mentioned a change of altitude. But why? Was it to navigate around bad weather, or had the crew noticed something wrong and decided to alter their course? We'll never know. And just like that, the plane was gone. No trace, no signal, just the cold, endless expanse of the Pacific Ocean. Air traffic control tried to reach the aircraft, but their calls were met with silence. Hours passed, but nothing. No wreckage, no distress signals, just a chilling void. The disappearance of Flying Tiger Flight 739 remains one of aviation's most unsettling mysteries. What caused this sudden, unexplained vanishing, and why did the world hear nothing more? Just hours after Flying Tiger Flight 739 disappeared from radar, the first sign of something horrifying came from a tanker crew sailing miles away in the Pacific. They reported seeing a vapor trail in the sky, followed by a massive explosion. A flash of light, bright enough to light up the sky, but just as quickly it was gone. The tanker crew immediately tried to alert authorities, but by then, the ocean had already swallowed any trace of the plane. The search operation was massive, one of the largest ever launched at the time. Navy ships, planes, and countless rescue teams scoured the vast open waters of the Pacific. Day after day, they searched, combing through endless stretches of ocean, hoping to find something, anything that might explain what had happened. But the ocean is vast and time was running out. 96 souls, 93 soldiers, and 3 crew members were now lost. Their families, the military, and the world waited for answers that never came. As the days turned into weeks, the search efforts grew more desperate, but the results were always the same. No wreckage, no bodies, no sign of the plane. Only the cold, empty expanse of the Pacific, stretching on forever. And with every passing day, the hope of finding the missing Flying Tiger Flight 739 began to fade, leaving a painful, unanswered question. What had happened to those 96 people? Where had they gone? With no wreckage found and the plane's final moments a mystery. Number 1. Mechanical failure. Could a mechanical issue have caused the plane to disappear without a trace? It's certainly within the realm of possibility. The Super Constellation was known for its reliability, but it wasn't without its flaws. Ignition issues had already been reported during the flight, with engine problems emerging as early as their refueling stop at Wake Island. If the engines had suffered a more severe failure mid-flight, it could explain why the plane suddenly went off radar. But the key question here is, could a fuel leak or malfunction have caused an explosion as seen in the vapor trail by the tanker crew? While mechanical failure alone is a tragic but understandable explanation, the complete lack of wreckage makes this theory harder to believe. Typically, a plane suffering a mechanical failure, especially one as severe as an engine explosion, would leave behind some trace, wreckage, debris, or even parts of the fuselage. However, none was found. This challenges the theory, but it's still possible that the explosion was so catastrophic that nothing remained. Theory number 2, sabotage or bombing. Now, let's consider a more sinister explanation: sabotage. After Flying Tiger Flight 739 refueled at Guam, a 15-minute window was left unattended. Theorists suggest a bomb could have been planted during this time, causing the explosion seen by the tanker crew. The timing of the explosion, just after takeoff, fits this theory, as the plane was still close to the airport but too far for proper investigation. The flight secrecy and lack of a distress signal strengthen the case for sabotage, possibly making it a target for enemies or insiders. Theory number 3, missile attack. The story of Flight 739 is one that's yet to be fully told. After Flying Tiger Flight 739 disappeared, the Civil Aeronautics Board (CAB) launched an official investigation, but challenges emerged immediately. The CAB's report was inconclusive. While investigators looked into causes like mechanical failure and sabotage, they couldn't determine the exact reason for the crash. Adding to the mystery, many official records were classified, leaving key details hidden. The flight's classified nature made it nearly impossible to fully investigate. The search operation was massive, but the vast Pacific Ocean and the lack of wreckage gave investigators little to go on. The disappearance seemed almost impossible to explain. The secrecy of the mission, combined with missing evidence, led the investigation to a dead end. Despite years of effort, the case remains unsolved. Many believe the government's involvement might have suppressed key information to protect sensitive operations. To this day, the disappearance of Flight 739 haunts those connected to it, with the truth still hidden in the shadows of the Cold War. The disappearance of Flight 739 forever changed how we view aviation safety and the secrecy surrounding Cold War missions. Despite years of investigation, the mystery continues to linger, leaving countless questions unanswered. This tragedy wasn't just a devastating loss for the families of the 96 souls aboard. It also raised troubling questions about how far governments might go to protect their secrets. The lack of clear answers has left a void that fuels speculation and keeps the story alive, a chilling reminder of the unknown dangers tied to classified missions. While the official story remains incomplete, the legacy of Flight 739 is undeniable, a haunting symbol of the risks behind covert operations and the enduring shadow